The film The Station Agent has earned great reviews and sudden fame for its leading man, Peter Dinklage. He plays Finbar McBride, a lonely man who gets too much of the wrong kind of attention because of his size. The actor, like the character he plays, is a dwarf. Day-to-Day's Karen Grigsby Bates spoke to Peter Dinklage about the film and his role.
Tell me who your character, Finbar McBride, is.
Finn is a gentleman who has sort of chosen to be alone in life. He's gotten a lot of unwanted attention because of his size, and he sort of has isolated himself. He has only one real friend, and this character thinks he's perfectly content in his life of sort of semi-isolation until he finds two other people that bring him out of his shell.
What do you have in common with Finn, and what drew you to him as a character? Why did you decide to accept this role?
Well, I accepted the role because my friend Tom McCarthy wrote it, and he actually approached me with the script and said, I kind of wrote this role for you, which was a great honor. And Tom was very open for my perspective, being a dwarf, and we would talk about things like how children react to me. Sometimes I wouldn't have to say anything. We'd walk down the streets of New York together, and he would see how children react. Mm-hmm. It's just sort of, are you a man? Are you a kid? What grade are you in?
What grade are you in? Where's your mother?
That type, and I get that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I've learned to have a sense of humor about life and realize how important it is to have good friends and not to isolate yourself. But I understand that need to shut yourself off from unwanted attention, because I get it just as much as this character does, walking down the streets, stairs or what have you, but can't let that stuff get under your skin.
Now, I understand that Tom gave you some direction to get rid of the Dinklage charm.
I still don't know what the Dinklage charm is, because I don't know. Well, he's seen me play different roles. I usually play sort of extroverted characters. This is the first time I've played somebody that goes inward a lot actually. But I still don't know what the Dinklage charm is. You have to ask him.
I have an inkling of it, but never mind.
Maybe the stuff I don't think it's charm, but maybe the actor's crutches, the tricks I rely upon when I'm doing a role.
What are some of the tricks that you might usually use?
Oh, I don't know, just chewing up the scenery, just being these sort of characters that I play that are touched in the head, and you get to come in for a couple of scenes and go nuts, and then you're out.
There is what I think is a really excruciating scene in the bar. Yeah. After Finn has had a bad day and feels like he's been rejected when he's been trying to be helpful.
Right.
And he goes to kind of drink it off. Mm-hmm. What did you draw on to do that? This was the first time we've seen him really angry.
Yeah. Well, when I have a couple of drinks in me, I get very affectionate. So I'm quite the opposite of that. I get lovey-dovey. But quite a few people, when they're younger, go through a sort of an angry period. And I'm not going to compare my pain to anybody else's. But I hit a few walls, literally with my fists when I was younger. And often alcohol brings out the worst in people. Yeah,
well, and I guess in fairness to the denizens of this town that Finn finds himself in, there are people who don't give him a second glance.
Right. No, and I love, that's great about this, the way Tom wrote this character, is this character's flawed. A lot of characters written for somebody my size, they're too sanctimonious. They're like a sage, and they don't make mistakes. This character makes mistakes. He's flawed. The scene at the bar, I mean, it's going on in my head. I'm not really, those people don't deserve that treatment at the bar, which, I'm sort of the ass in that scene, which is great.
This film earned an audience award at Sundance.
Yeah.
Why do you think people connected with it so readily?
It's that word, connected. It's this piece is about people connecting, and I think everybody has experienced loneliness. It's a pretty universal feeling. Feeling you're the outsider. I know that one of the biggest joys in my life is my family and friends. They are the instant remedy for sadness. And this story, these characters are so persistent in knowing that's the cure for this loneliness, even though you don't even think you are lonely, it can catch up to you. I don't want to sound sentimental, because this movie is, I think, very far from being sentimental. But every time I talk about it, I sound sentimental, but I can't help myself.
I told you the Dinklage charm was there. You just weren't going to label it as such. But Tim McCarthy was right. You got to watch out for it.
Oh, boy.
Peter Dinklage is the star of the movie The Station Agent, which is currently in theaters. He joined us here in our Los Angeles studio. Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.